This is a good observation. I feel like that's a layer to it. I mean, from what we've seen is that, she liked rock music, when Nobu gave her that CD. So she liked rock music. And then, she, liked hanging around them, a blast. And then, of course, her and Ren got together. And then, but before that, they asked her to be the singer, right? So she was like, me? Okay, but it didn't seem like that was always her aspiration in life, to be a rock star or to be in a band. You feel me? So I feel like, honestly, but I mean, I feel like, yeah, she enjoyed it, right? But once the whole split happened, okay, and Ren went to Tokyo, I feel like that really fueled her to be a rock star, to be huge, to be big, to be better than him, to be better than Trap Nest. And let's be real, that's better than, the odd jobs that she was probably doing for money, because again, she was all on her own. And they were doing that for a while before Ren left. So it was kind of like, okay, that's our way of life right now. We in this rock band, we making our little money here and there. Like, this is what we doing. We making a name for ourselves. And then when Ren leaves, it's kind of like, well, damn, okay, well, am I just supposed to stop my life, And that was another thing too. I also feel that, okay, so let's take it back to when Ren and Nana O broke up. And Ren was like, look, I would stop all this shit for you. I would just get a job. We could just have we could have a family. We could settle down, this, that, and the third. And she was just like, I don't want to do that. She was really big and adamant on staying on birth control. Now, mind you, she was young. They were all young. Let's be real. They still kids they damn self. But now that we know what we know about Nana O's past and her mom and stuff like that, and that deep wound of abandonment with her mother, I'm just saying, I feel like, that was a big thing for her, that she was like, I'm not ready to be a mom because my mom wasn't even in my life, and I'm still holding resentment. We see that later on when Nana K's pregnant, but Nana O doesn't know yet. And she's like, people shouldn't be mothers, if they're not ready, and all that kind of stuff. Like, she still has a lot of resentment, to where, how some people are like, yeah, I shouldn't be having no kids right now because I'm still really selfish, or I'm still like, I just don't think I would be a good mom. And that's very valid. I feel like when people say that, you're right, because you're gonna have to be extremely selfless, right? And you're gonna have to put that child first. So I feel like even Nana O knew. She was like, look, I had to do a lot of this shit on my own growing up. I'm still holding on to resentment. I still want to be very selfish. I still want to do what I want to do. And that is very valid, right? But I do feel like a lot of that does come from that wound of the mother, to where if her mom was in her life, and let's say they had a good connection, like Nana K's family, right? She probably would feel different about stuff. And that contributed to how her and Ren ended up breaking up, because she was just like, dang, I mean, if I did go with him, he would be on tour doing this, doing that, and I would just, be at home? I mean, he wants to have a baby, and then I just would have to stop singing and just take care of the baby. I'm not ready to do that, and that's valid. Again, even if she had a great relationship with her mom, that is still valid. But again, I think, there was that fear, right? And just not ready. That was just a really deep wound for her. She didn't go to therapy. Ain't nobody went to therapy. So then she now puts a lot of her effort into being a rock star. Now, even before Ren had left, and she, was having people like Masato come around, and she would like give them kisses and do this and do that, I feel like, yeah, she's always going to have that void from not having a mother in her life and from being abandoned. So I do feel like having the fans there, hyping her up, giving her those words of affirmation, being like, being fans, that did help. Was it going to help completely? Was it going to fill the void? No. But that did help, right? Also, I feel like being a rock star and just being on the road, always being booked and busy, that also helped, because she can keep her mind off of stuff. I do agree with like copying that Playboy persona from Ren, because we see that Ren from a very young age, again, was in this scene, in the rock star scene, and he was with older women and doing all type of stuff. Who knows what done happened to that child? I think his drug addiction probably started back then, and maybe not addiction, but I think a dabbling in the drugs started way back then when he was younger. And it just got worse after, him and Nana O broke up and he went to Tokyo. But basically, I feel like with Nana, she always had that, like that mystique aura about her. But I do feel like, once they got into the band and once she was seeing Ren do his thing, I do feel like, she kind of, adopted some of those traits and some of those mannerisms and this, that, and the third. Because it's like, low-key, they were like the female and male version of each other. You feel me? But, yeah. So, again, being like him, but wanting to be better. You feel me? Because how they view each other, it was like they were two halves of a whole. And that's not healthy. Let's be real. I know it sounds cute, but really in any relationship, you should feel like two whole individuals that want to do stuff together instead of two halves of a whole. Because then what happens when one of those halves are gone? Now you don't feel complete. Now things are off. You feel me? It's not healthy. And we know Nana O and Ren's relationship was not healthy. They really did give Edward and Bella type shit. Like, if you die, you gotta take me with you. If you die, I'ma die too. Why did y'all both like crash out when y'all broke up? Like, I get, you feel me? Like, I get breakups, they hurt, this, that, and the third, but there should be no reason while this man is getting addicted to the hard stuff because of y'all relationship. And then there's no reason why y'all couldn't just communicate. They both wanted to be together, and then she moved to Tokyo. Like, y'all couldn't communicate? Y'all couldn't send letters or text messages or this or that? Like, come on now. Both being stubborn as hell. Like, with them, it had to be you all in or you all out. Like, come on, bro. Like, come on. Like, why it gotta be so extreme? Why all out gotta be so extreme? Like, oh, no contact. We can't have no contact? That makes no sense. But y'all both bothering Yasu to talk about each other and to talk to each other. Like, leave Yasu alone. Leave that man alone. He already don't got no hair. I know he's stressed out. I feel like if Yasu had hair, it would be falling out. The way how Ren and Nana was stressing this man, I feel like his hair would be out. Honestly, Takumi, I'm surprised Takumi hair wasn't falling out. And Takumi got that nice little bust down. I'm surprised his hair wasn't falling out. Especially when the whole Reira and Ren stuff kept happening. Then he found out about Reira and Shin. And then, it was too much shit going on. But he kept that hair nice, honey. I thought he'd be losing hair. It just started to be very stressful. But yeah, basically, answer the question. I do feel like that the words of affirmation and the hype from the fans really does help. I don't think it ever is truly going to fill that void of her mom. But that's why she liked Nana K so much. Okay, because literally that's like her own personal cheerleader. That's one thing about Nana K. She got a lot of love, like, to give for other people, but not to herself. And that's the problem. But like when she does, she showers it. Like, she's like, oh my gosh, you're so pretty. Oh my gosh, you're so talented. Oh my God. You feel me? Like, she's so enamored by everything. It makes you feel good. It does. It make you feel good. She want to keep her around, of course. Like she said, like kind of like a dog. It reminds you of like a dog when they see you. No matter what you do, they're so happy to see you. You feel me? Like, they're so happy. They're so hyped. You walk through the door. Oh my God, you're home. Like, that's what she was like. I was planning on getting a dog anyway, but I mean, this works. Like, you feel me? Like, again, the perfect type of person to have around Nana O, who needs that reassurance, especially because she feels like everybody's been abandoning her. Her mom abandoned her. Ren, her lover, abandoned her. Like, now she's doing all this on her own. And she's just like, I need some damn reassurance. Like, who is going to stay by me to the very end? Like, no matter what. And she thought that was going to be Nana K until Takumi came up in there. So, yeah, I don't think she just needs to go to therapy. You feel me? Nothing's ever going to be enough. And honestly, at the end of the manga, it shows that the mom now wants to go and see Nana O. But it's just like, girl, honestly, F you, no. Because it's like, what you got to say? Because you telling Nana O that? What you told that one guy? Oh, yeah, I just wasn't ready to be selfish. Like, I just, I chose a man over her. Don't tell her that. She already know that. Don't tell her that shit. If that's what you got to say, leave her alone. But maybe what you should say is maybe some sorry. Like, maybe apologize. Yeah. But it's just like, you don't have nothing good to say. I don't know. Just leave that girl alone. She just lost her man. Leave her alone. But yeah, just to add on to, I just think that because of Nana O's abandonment issues, she would need that like immense love and loyalty and dedication from everybody around her. That's why she was mad at Yasu for getting a girlfriend and not choosing her over Ren. That's why she was mad at Ren. That's why she was mad at Hachi. Like, you feel me? She mad at everybody. Because in her eyes, nobody's choosing her and only her. It needs to be only her for her to feel that good. And see how that still wouldn't be enough? It still wouldn't be enough. She needs to go to therapy. Somebody said, I wish Nana had the confidence to not have that baby. I wouldn't say I wish she had the confidence to not have the baby. I wish she had the confidence to love herself, choose herself, and speak the hell up. Because that's the real problem, right? Because this is the thing. I know, when you don't have kids, it's very easy to just be like, oh, like, after that baby, trust me. Before I had a child, I was always like, nah, if I don't want that child, if it's not at the right time, like, it's going to be F them kids. But, like, once you actually get pregnant, it's like it's different. And not saying that you still can't be like F them kids, like your body, your choice. But it's like once you know that, oh my God, I have a human being growing inside of me, like a little me growing inside of me, like it's different. And Nana K, she did try to go and take care of it, but she couldn't bring herself to do it because she's like, bro, like I'm pregnant, bro. Like I could really raise this child and have like a child. You feel me? Like it's a roller coaster of emotions. The problem is, and why it's so much drama, is because she didn't speak up, because she didn't communicate and tell people what was going on when it happened, to explain that she wasn't necessarily cheating on Nobu. Like it was just a whole lot of that. All it would have taken is just for her to have self-confidence, not confidence in not having the baby. Like, let's be real. Even if she didn't have the baby, it still would have been a lot of drama because she doesn't have any self-love. That's the problem. Because she doesn't speak up for herself. That's the problem. Because she always centers other people. That's the problem. So even if she didn't get pregnant, she would, let's be real, the rifts really started happening when she started dealing with Takumi in the first place, even before she was pregnant. Nana O was already feeling some type of way. And let's be real, Nana O was always going to feel some type of way anyway because she in love with that girl, but she's trying to fight it instead of just confessing her feelings. Just imagine if Nana O just would have confessed her feelings to Nana K. Then what? You feel me? Like at that point, now what's gonna happen? So it was always going to be a problem. It was always going to be a problem. Because at the end of the day, like I know it seemed, and even Nana O was kind of making it seem like the baby was such an inconvenience. At the end of the day, babies are blessings. Like, you feel me? Like, whether planned or not, they are blessings. Even though it's gonna be a lot, they're gonna flip your world upside down. They are blessings to the point where it's just like, it's not the baby that's an inconvenience. Let's be real. It's Nana K's lack of self-love, lack of self-confidence, lack of being able to speak up for herself and, be truthful with the people around her, of like what she wants, how she feels, what she's afraid of, all that kind of stuff. So regardless whether a child was in the mix or not, you get what I'm trying to say? It was going to be a problem. Whether it was going to be that month or the next few months, it was going to be some type of issue because the root of the problem is still there. So that's what I'll say with that. Because at first, I'm not going to lie, a long time ago when I really first got into Nana, I was like, bro, why she got to get pregnant? Like, bro, I wish she never got pregnant. But it's just like, especially the way that Nana K was moving, she was probably going to get pregnant anyway by somebody else. Even if it wasn't Nobu, let's be real. She could have easily gotten pregnant by Shoji. You feel me? And you see what I'm trying to say? Because again, the root of the problem is still messed up. Her and Nobu could have got into it one day, and then somebody would be nice to her in the next couple of days that they're broken up. She sleep with them, and now boom. You see what I'm trying to say? So it's like, it's not the baby that's the problem. It's the other issues with Nana K, to where that would have needed to be fixed first. So I just wish she had more self-love and she centered herself. So yeah, I don't want people to think that the baby is the problem, because the baby's not the issue. It's the mama. It's the mom, and we see that with Nana O mom too. It's that damn mama that's the problem. We got to start holding the mamas accountable, okay? Because that stuff trickle down, honey. It trickle down. I was asked if realistically, if I had to be friends with Nana O and Nana K, who would I be friends with? Realistically, like in real life, it would be Nana K, and here's why. I would be her Junko, basically. If I had to be, or even be friends with somebody like Nana K, I would fall in the Junko role. The reason why I would be able to be friends with Nana K and not Nana O is because the thing is this. Even though Nana K is a pick-me in the sense of like everything, like her whole personality is like needing to be chosen by somebody, we could still go do stuff together. You get what I'm trying to say? We can go shopping, even though she would probably be shopping for a cute outfit and like literally just trying to fit an aesthetic to get picked by somebody, whoever she's entering at the time. That's fine. We could go on a cute little brunch, even though she's probably going to be yapping my ear off about the person that she's centering at the time, and it'll get annoying. It is what it is. Or it'll be probably filled with me lecturing her, right? For whatever she done did that time. Or, I could go over her house, or she could come over my house, and even though she's gonna be yapping my ear off about whoever she sent her at the time, or getting a lecture, you can still hang out with her and feel like you're hanging out with a girl. You feel me? Like a girl who's like your friend, even though she's that friend. You feel me? Nana O, on the other hand, she don't even have girlfriends for real. You see what I'm trying to say? And so a problem with that, and because she ain't never really had no girlfriends, and the girls that we see that are in her life, they're either like lovers or like, kissing her ass or competition. You feel me? Because think about it. The 3 girls that was really in her life, you had Reira, who she looked at as competition. You had Masato, who was kissing her ass. And then you had Nana K, who was kissing her ass, but she was okay with her kissing her ass because she liked her too. You feel me? And that's just not me. So it's just like, I don't know how it fit in there. Another reason is also because Nana O don't like being called out on her shit. At all. She cannot take criticism at all. Constructive criticism at all. She don't like it. So she like to throw stuff at people. And you see how these hands are rated for everybody. So it just wouldn't work. She don't like being checked. She don't like being called out or on nothing. You feel me? So it's like, and I feel like she likes being like the only girl in like a group of guys. I just feel like she likes that dynamic, which is fine. So if a girl were to be in her space, I feel like she would want to kiss her ass, or you feel me? Like she needs people to be like Nana K and Masato that's around her. If you're not, I feel like she would look at you as competition. And that's what I'm saying. It's just not really giving girl. So I just don't think, and also she wouldn't want you to tell her nothing. She would be in the right all the time. You feel me? And then she's very avoidant when it comes to hearing about herself, facing her issues. She can be very avoidant. So it's like, how is a friendship between 2 girls gonna work if you act like that? Like, again, at least with Nana K, even though she makes really poor decisions, she'll hear a lecture from you. She'll ask for advice and she'll hear your lecture. Will she always follow the advice? Probably not. Will she be back for more and be crying, doing this, doing that? Yeah, probably so. But at least we can go hang out and do like stuff and be like, still like be friends and coexist. And she's not necessarily looking at you like as competition. I mean, I could see like, she could probably be envious in a way of like, oh, this person's so pretty. Like, she's so smart. I wish I was more like her. Like this, that, and the third. But she's not going to be trying to put you down or arguing back and forth with you. And she knows she wrong. You see what, like, she knows she be doing stupid stuff. So it's like, she'll ask for advice. She'll hear you out. She may not listen to it all the time, or she may still make a dumb decision later. But at least I feel like you could actually be friends with somebody like Nana K. And I have been friends with people like Nana K. With people like Nana O, you really can't truly be friends with them. I don't know. At least with my personality, that's what I'll say. Because again, can you see Junko and Nana O really being friends? Not really, because Junko wouldn't kiss Nana O's ass. And she would tell her about herself every time she was doing something wrong. Like, she'd be like, girl, you on BS, for real. Like, huh? And Nana O wouldn't like that. And they literally would not be able to be friends. So that's the answer to that question. But what about y'all? Like, do you feel like who you could actually be friends with based off of your personality? Would you like see yourself being friends with Nana O, or do you see yourself being friends with like Nana K? Okay, on the Reira and Shin situation, the way you broke down this comment, it makes sense what you're trying to say, and I agree with you on the sense of like, Reira isn't a metaphile in the sense of like, oh, she's looking for little kids, and that's why she was attracted to Shin. And more of the fact of like, she allowed Shin to fill that void because she was lonely, but it still is not right because again, she knew he was underage and she kept going. I agree with you with that. I don't think she goes walking down the street looking for little kids and that's why she was attracted to him, compared to, what was her name? Ryoku, the lady that groomed Shin, and she was saying, yeah, you need to stay young looking, this, that, and the third, you need to look cute and young. That's different, yes. What I'm saying is that, and again, I feel like now she's a metaphile isn't the right word. I think maybe the door is going to open up for her to be a ebophile. And an ebophile is basically, or ebophilia is basically people who are attracted to people between the ages of like 15 to 19. Basically, this is what I'm saying. The fact that she is allowing Shin, or she allowed Shin to fill that void, and she justified it, even though he was too young, she justified it by her loneliness, because I'm lonely. So I'm going to allow this to happen, right? Until eventually she's like, oh, I can't do this. It's like, okay, once you had your fill, once you wanted to change up, now it's not okay. And again, it's still not even like, oh my gosh, I did something wrong in that way. It was more of like, we should just be friends so I could focus on this and da-da-da. It was more of like that. But what I'm saying is the fact that she opened the door to that can open the door up to now her being an epiphile. Because at that point, for one, if you're doing it because you're lonely and you don't care about, you don't care about the ethics of it all, you can justify anything at that point. Because Reira specifically, she's always going to be lonely. And I say that because she's never going to have Takumi the way that she wants, right? Takumi is not emotionally available. It just is what it is. He's just not. And so she can have Takumi, like Takumi's was, I can give myself to you, but it's going to only be in a sexual way. It's not going to be the way that you want it. It just is what it is. He's just not emotionally available like that. He was showing her, by putting her on a pedestal and not sexualizing her, that was his way of showing that I love this girl in a different way than I show anybody else. She's not going to feel the love that way, though. She wants something different. So she's always going to feel lonely. Period. Right? So if she can just justify that kind of behavior because of her loneliness, which I feel like she's always going to be lonely. Because she's always going to be around Takumi. That's one thing about it. She's never going to fully heal from him. She's never going to move on. Even if on the outside she moves on and she gets married to somebody, has children, her heart is always going to belong to Takumi, right? She is like obsessively, unhealthily in love with this man. But she's always going to be around him. So just like Ren said, it's always going to be Takumi. Who is she going to fill the void with? And is she just always going to justify it because she's lonely? Right. And I know you're not saying that it's right. But I'm saying, like, again, just not okay. And that's what I'm saying. That opens the door to ebophilia. And because she already went low. You feel me? Young kids are always going, like, kids, they can like people that's their age. They're going to like people that's older because they're kids. Everybody's older than them. You feel me? And that's just, again, they don't know the implications of it. They don't, they think it's okay. Especially somebody like Shin who's already been groomed. You feel me? But when you're an adult, you know better. Reira knew better, but because she was so lonely, she justified it. So at that point, if you already went low, you already opened up that door to doing that, and you went that far. It wasn't like she was just flirting with him. It wasn't like she just kissed. She was full-blown relationship, having sex with this boy, right? And again, justifying it because she's lonely. Well, what else is she gonna do? And that's why I can't wait. I want to see what's going to happen with her, and even Ren. Takumi's son, because that's why I'm just like, you shouldn't even have her around your son. And the reason I say that is because she's already building this weird bond with him where she does not sing unless he plays for her. That's how it can start. Because now as he gets older, okay, and he's going to be looking like Takumi, and she's already curating and building this relationship, this very strong bond between them two since he was a child. So what's going to happen when he gets real tall? We know how that's going to happen, right? When he gets real tall, he's going to be looking down on her. He looks just like Takumi. And he already got this really strong bond with her. What then? And I'm not saying, it always has to be they in the bed getting sexual. But like, what then when you start kind of grooming this child to fill your void and they don't understand it, right? What happens then? So I think it's more accurate not to call her a metaphile, but I'll say what she was doing was, again, like ebophilia. At the end of the day, even if that wasn't what attracted her to him in the first place, it is. And it opens the door. Now, I feel like it would really stick if we see her doing it again. At that point, it's like, okay. But again, like I said, it just opens the door to it. You did it once. And again, you didn't stop because of your morals. You didn't stop because you were like, oh my God, what the hell am I doing? I shouldn't have never been with you. It wasn't like that, right? So she doesn't really see it being wrong. She doesn't really see the wrong in what she was doing. So, and she doesn't truly care. That's another thing. It's more of like what makes her feel good at whatever moment. And she's going to continuously need somebody to make her feel good because she's always going to feel bad because she can't have Takumi in the way that she wants. So I put my friend on to Nana, and she's loving it, of course. She's a therapist, and she brought up a point when it came to Sachiko and Shoji. And of course she said, she didn't like, that Shoji cheated, this, that, and the third. But when she's looking at them as individuals, she was saying she could appreciate the fact that Shoji did something for himself, even though the way he went about it wasn't the best way, and it caused, pain, to multiple people involved. And he should have ended things off with Nana in a different way, and sooner. She said she could appreciate the fact that since Nana is, like this coming of age story of, people in their early 20s, and this is when you're navigating through life and figuring things out, figuring out who you are, figuring out how to navigate like real relationships, not just like in high school and things like that. This is the time that you do a lot of trial and error. This is the time where you F up. This is the time, right? Some people never grow out of those F-ups though, right? But some people do, and they need these moments, like when you're in your teens and your early 20s, to do that. So she was saying, she looked at it from the perspective of like, although what he did was wrong, she is glad, especially since she's a therapist again, like sometimes she sees people that never get out of that, that always, stay in certain predicaments that just aren't good for them and aren't good for the person either. She was saying, just imagine how much we would have hated him if he would have tried to make it work, tried to stay with Nana K, even after all of that, right? Or if it just would have kept going for so long, and you know what I'm saying? And I was like, yeah, I guess that's true. I never really thought about it like that, I'm not gonna lie, but it is a different perspective, and I just wanted to share that. And cause she was saying at the end of the day, with Sachiko, she was saying, because she's reading the manga, she was like, it just seemed like they had this intense connection early on, to where he was able to see that obviously something is lacking in my relationship with Nana that I'm getting over here. And although he should have ended it with Nana and just went over there, right? She said ultimately, as just a person, as a young person, she's glad that, he was able to, find that and see that and pursue somebody, in a relationship that was more fulfilling. And she was saying when it came to Sachiko, she was like, they are cute, right? And I was like, if their start wasn't so damn messy, they would have been cute, right? And I told her, I said, I totally get like isolating these characters and trying to see them objectively and just see them as individuals and not just Shoji as Nana's boyfriend and this, that, and the third, right? Because we did talk about the fact that she was saying she didn't think that they should have been together anyway. Like, she was just like, they didn't have a good foundation. Like, they just got together just to really get together. So that's a whole thing in itself. Their relationship really didn't have a strong foundation in the first place. So she was like, honestly, I didn't really want them together. And I was like, I agree. I'm not going to lie. I agree. Because I've said in past videos, Nana K shouldn't have even went out there in the first place, because all he did was send her a text saying he got into the school, and she took her ASS on that train. Ain't nobody told you to get on that train. He wasn't ready for you to even come out there yet. So automatically, like, just that alone, okay? Let alone when they had got together, they slept together for the first time. Oh, tell me you love me. He like, why would I do that? I don't love you. Like, oh, it's okay. I heard your heart say it. Girl, bye. Okay? So already. So, and I was telling her, I was like, and, and she was saying it was heavy on everybody, like even on Sachiko, this, that, and third. And I was like, again, all these feelings are valid because they're all humans, right? And humans are layered, right? And I will say this, I do understand how it could have been heavy and how Sachiko could have felt like this isn't fair because, Shoji withheld that information that he had a girlfriend when they first met. So, they're vibing. They got the same classes together. They got work together. They got the same route from home together. They take the same train or bus home together. She's falling in love with this dude. He's allowing that. He's falling in love. She doesn't know he has a girlfriend. So by the time she finds out he has a girlfriend, she already in love. So, and mind you, again, it's like that feeling, they probably feeling that feeling of like, oh my gosh, maybe another life, this, that, and the third. But it's like, I see this person all the time, every day. It's like, it ain't nothing but opportunity in between us. Like, and nothing in the way. But what I would have liked to see from Sachiko is for her to give him an ultimatum. Like, hello? For me, I understand Sachiko, feeling heavy about all this, feeling the burden of being the other woman and at first you thought you was the only woman, and now you're the other woman, yada yada yada. And then when she met Nana K, okay, having her serve Nana K, and then seeing that Nana's a nice girl, like, you know, we could talk about how Nana K F's up and all that kind of stuff and her flaws, but she is a nice girl. She's not a mean girl. You get me? And, you know, so for Sachiko to see that, oh my gosh, I'm a piece of crap. Like, what am I doing with this girl's man? Like, and another thing is, too, that we have to understand, too, like, when you're dealing with somebody, they probably be making, and they have a girlfriend in the 7th, 3rd, they probably making the girlfriend seem so bad. Oh, yeah, this relationship is just this, that, and 3rd. She don't pay attention to me, da, da, da. And mind you, let's be real, Nana K she did start to center Nana O. She did. It is what it is. She did. She didn't become more independent. She just became more dependent on somebody else. It is what it is. But the point of the matter is, so Sachiko low-key in her mind thinking that, you know, this person's so bad, she should have just been like, okay, we'll break up with them and then be with me. But anyway, so then when she saw that Nana K was just a nice person and was trying to help her out this, that, and 3rd, that's when the cookie started to crumble. She was like, I can't do this no more. And so, yeah, I mean, those feelings are valid, but I would have loved to see from Sachiko to give him a damn ultimatum. She was just a little too comfortable being the side piece for me. I'm sorry. Like, I understand everybody's feelings about it. Like, I totally understand. We can isolate these characters because they're not bad people. They just did a bad thing. It just is what it is. There are some characters that are just bad people. Just bad people. But then there's just characters that do bad things or have done a bad thing. And so I think that's also what the author's trying to show with Nana, because we see that, right? We see that multiple times with characters that do bad things, but they're not necessarily bad people, okay? So yeah, they're just people, you know, and then they move in together, they seem happy, this, that, and 3rd, and that's, I mean, cool. I mean, it couldn't be me, right? Because, you know, you can lose them how you get them, so... okay, because he was a little too comfortable letting it go on for so long, and she was a little too comfortable for being the side piece for too long. So I'm just like, okay, y'all both seem a little messy, but I mean, hey, if it works out, it works out. Some people, it may be worth it to them if they feel like this is the one for me. To each his own, because I feel like in that type of relationship, you just would never really fully be able to trust the other person, because you'd be like, look, I know how we met, so that little friend you got at work, I don't like that. That little friend you got in class, you feel me? Like, you gotta watch that person now. But anyway, I just want to share our little conversation that we had, because I was like, you know what, I never really thought of it that way, but that is very true. I mean, there is still something to appreciate about, you know, even though it was messy with the way, because she was saying, she was like, Shoji could have easily just, as soon as he started to feel something for the other girl and realize that, hey, I'm lacking something with Nana, and I'm just not getting what I need, and we're just not the same, or what, like, the relationship just not what it was supposed to be, and just broke up with her, and then got with the other girl. People would put 2 and 2 together, but it's just like, you could have just easily done that. But if he did do that, you get me, we would look at it more that way of like, at least he, you know, it was ugly a little bit, but at least he saw, like, you know, kind of like saw for himself, like, this is what I want. Because at the end of the day, again, in your early 20s, you're trying to figure out who you are, what you want, things that you like, things that you don't like. You're going to F up. You're going to make mistakes, all type of stuff, right? And some people never grow out of that, like I said, but then some people, they're like, oh yeah, back in my 20s, that's what happened, right? So, and then some people would never do that kind of stuff, you know? So, you know, and I think they showed that too, even when he was going to Kyosuke, he was like, well, you were a womanizer, this, that, and 3rd. Would you cheat on your girl? He was like, I ain't never cheated on nobody. Like, I was single and I was a player, but like, I ain't never cheat on nobody. And I'm not cheating now. Like, I got the girl that I want. I don't know about you. So it showed that just because you're young doesn't mean, you know, it's not an excuse, but it's more of like, we understand that this is a time of self-discovery, to where you shouldn't stay in something that isn't good for you anymore. But at the same time, you shouldn't cheat on them either, right? But at the same time, it's still navigating, like, what do I like? What don't I like? Should I stay in something that, you know, neither of us is happy in anymore, and it's not serving us anymore? Or should we both just go our separate ways and move? Because at the end of the day, Nana, and it's funny because Nana O and Sachiko are like both of like Nana K and Shoji's different partners, and they come together at this diner, and they both have centered these 2 other people.